You know that one group your feed keeps shoving at you, but you've never actually sat down and listened? For a lot of K-pop and J-pop fans right now, that group is XG. Maybe you've seen a blue-haired girl spitting bars on TikTok, or a left-right dance cover on your timeline, but you still couldn't name a single member. XG is just there. Loud thumbnails, cool hair, endless debate over whether they're K-pop, J-pop, or something else entirely. So instead of throwing their whole discography at you, let's do this the easy way. Think of this video as your starter kit, 8 songs, grouped by vibe, that turn you from I've heard about them into okay, I actually understand what they're doing. No deep career timeline, no they trained for X years lecture. Just the music, and what each track quietly reveals about who XG are. And to do that properly, we have to start with the song your algorithm probably tried to show you 5 times already.
XG? Everything I do A1, flawless, make them go insane, pandemonium.
If you only have time for one XG song, make it Shooting Star. This isn't just a good song, it's basically the front gate into their universe. The second the beat comes in, you can tell they're not aiming for the usual bright pop lane. The instrumental feels like floating through neon fog, spacey synths, laid-back drums, everything just slightly glossy, like a sci-fi version of early 2000s R&B. Then the rap sections slide in, not as a random verse stapled on top, but woven into the song's actual DNA. It's confident without yelling at you, catchy without feeling cheap. More importantly, Shooting Star answers the first question every non-fan has: what are they even trying to be? The answer is, they're building some kind of R&B/hip-hop hybrid that happens to be coming out of the K-idol system, but doesn't really sound like what everyone else is doing. It's familiar enough that you can hum along, but weird enough that you go, wait, that was kind of different. But the song that really makes you trust them isn't Shooting Star. It's Left Right.
I got what you want, I got what you need. Mobbing like we don't follow anything.
Left Right feels like XG taking a breath and saying, okay, now that we've got your attention, here's what we sound like when we chill. The beat is incredibly simple, almost empty on purpose. There's this steady bounce, with little details sprinkled around it, but no giant EDM drop, no overcomplicated arrangement. That minimalism is exactly what makes it addicting. When the chorus hits, it doesn't need to scream, it just glides. The way the members trade lines is what stands out here. Voices melt into each other, then pull apart again, so the group starts to feel like a single instrument that keeps changing color. It's smooth, almost too smooth, the kind of song you leave on repeat for an hour without realizing. And that's the key, Left Right proves Shooting Star wasn't a lucky one-off. This isn't a group who got a single good track from a producer and vanished. They actually live in this R&B pocket. If you stopped right here, you'd probably file XG under cool R&B-ish girl group with strong visuals and move on. But that image doesn't survive the next 2 songs.
Yeah, I've been here waiting, looking at him, trying to catch up, take it how you wanna take it. Left the place in panic, left to take another planet, left to make another state.
At some point, Woke Up is going to hit your recommended, and that's where things get loud. The first time this song comes on, it sounds like your playlist accidentally jumped to a full-on rap track. There's no shiny pop chorus waiting to save you. Just heavy 808s, a beat that feels like it's stomping down a hallway, and 7 girls taking turns attacking it. This is XG stripping away all the pretty layers they showed you in Shooting Star and Left Right. No big melodies, no soaring hooks, just rhythm and attitude. Even the members who were clearly introduced to you as the vocals suddenly drop into rap verses. Flows switch up midline, ad-libs stab through the mix, and that one repeated hook line drills itself into your memory whether you want it there or not. Woke Up is important because it answers a different question. Are they actually serious about hip-hop, or is it just an aesthetic? When a group is willing to put out a song that's basically all rap, with no safety net, that's a statement. You don't have to love rap to appreciate it, but you can't walk away thinking their rap line is just a prop.
Undefeated, that's why they call me undisputed. I'm breaking up.
And just when that shock is settling in, Undefeated comes in swinging from another angle. This one feels like a song designed to play over a highlight reel or a championship match. The whole structure is built to make you feel like you're in a final round. Verses that move like a chase, pre-choruses that tense up, and a hook that sounds like the exact moment you land the winning blow. Where Woke Up is tight and gritty, Undefeated is wide and cinematic. You can hear the punches in the drums, the team chant energy in the chorus, the kind of lines you can almost imagine shouted by a crowd. It's the perfect track to prove that XG's sound can exist outside of just idle contexts. Put this over esports, sports montages, or any kind of we're not losing today mood, and it fits. After Woke Up and Undefeated, it's easy to lock XG into a box. They're that aggressive, hyper-stylized rap group. But the roller coaster isn't done yet, because the next two songs cut in from a completely different direction. Instead of another flex anthem, XG suddenly shows up with Snowflakes. Winter Without You is them flipping the switch to full seasonal R&B mode. Imagine December lights, crowded streets, people shopping with friends, and you walking a little slower because your person isn't there this year. That's the emotional space this song lives in. The production is softer here. The beat still has that XG polish, but it's toned down, letting warm chords and vocals sit up front. You start hearing who leans into sweetness, who brings a slightly huskier tone, who carries high notes without sounding like they're showing off. For a group that just crushed an all-rap track, it's almost disarming to hear them sound fragile. Winter Without You matters because it shows you that XG can do something as simple as I miss you in winter, and still sound like themselves. No overcomplicated concept. Just a feeling, delivered cleanly.
Rain on my shoulder, cloud in my head over heels.
If Winter Without You is the lonely walk home through cold streets, In the Rain is the moment you stop under a street lamp and just let yourself feel everything. Compared to the big, confident tracks earlier, this song feels almost empty, in a good way. There's a slow, steady groove holding it up, but most of the space is left for vocals to breathe. You'll notice how they handle quiet here. The group doesn't rush to fill every gap. Instead, they stretch syllables, lean into small melodic bends, and let echo and reverb do part of the talking. Even members you've mentally labeled as the rappers start leaning into this half-sung, half-spoken style that works perfectly over the minimal instrumentation. In the Rain is where you realize XG aren't just good at being loud or flashy. They understand restraint. They know how to keep you listening with almost nothing happening on the surface, just emotion and texture. That's not something every idol group can pull off. Once you've seen that side of them, once you've heard the winter sadness and the rainy night introspection, the earlier swagger from Woke Up and Undefeated starts to look a little different. It feels less like pure bravado and more like armor, something they can put on and take off as needed. But they don't stay soft for long.
Yeah. I've been a hitters for a different kind of body. That type of
Girl Gang is the sound of that armor getting upgraded. From the very first second, this song has arrival written all over it. The beat knocks in that trap-influenced way, with siren-like synths that make it feel like alarms are going off somewhere in the distance. Vocals and rap come in sharp, clipped lines, almost like the group is marching in formation. Lyrically and sonically, this is XG in full pack mode. It's not about one member shining, it's about 7 people moving as a unit, claws out. The song leans into the idea that they're not just pretty faces on your FYP. They're a squad that's been sharpening this sound for a while and finally decided to kick the door down. If the earlier tracks convinced you that they're good, Girl Gang tries to convince you they're inevitable. And then, to close the ride, there's Gala. If Girl Gang is kicking down the door, Gala is walking straight into the biggest room in the building like it already belongs to them. This is XG in full runway and club mode. The beat has that steady pulse you hear in dance and house tracks, the kind that makes stages and fashion shows feel like the same thing. What's clever here is how they balance accessibility and identity. On the surface, Gala is extremely easy to get into, steady rhythm, big moments, hooks that hit quickly. It's the kind of track you could throw into a playlist next to Western pop and it wouldn't feel out of place. But underneath that accessibility, you still hear their signatures, the mix of rap and vocals, the slightly futuristic edge in the synths, the sense that they're not just inviting you to a party, they're rewriting the dress code. Gala feels like a statement. XG are done being just that cool new group people talk about online. This is the kind of song that exists because they're aiming at big stages, big broadcasts, and a global audience who might be hearing them for the first time. By the time you've gone through all 8 of these songs, Shooting Star, Left Right, Woke Up, Undefeated, Winter Without You, In the Rain, Girl Gang, and Gala, you've basically watched a mini documentary told entirely through music. You've seen their future R&B roots, their full-throttle hip-hop side, the emotional core they hide under all that styling, and the pack anthem, runway-dominating version of themselves they're growing into. More importantly, you've answered the question that probably made you click this video in the first place. Is XG actually worth my time? If even one of these tracks made you pause, replay, or think, wait, that was kind of crazy, then congratulations, you've moved from non-fan into starting to get it. From here, the path is simple. If you love the R&B stuff, loop Shooting Star and Left Right, and start exploring their other smoother cuts. If the rap chaos grabbed you, keep Woke Up and Undefeated on repeat and go hunting for live performances and remixes. If the emotional tracks are what stuck, Winter Without You and In the Rain are your doorway into their softer side. And if you're already imagining them on festival stages, Girl Gang and Gala are only the beginning. 8 songs isn't enough to tell the full story of any group, but it is enough to decide whether you're staying a casual listener or whether you've just found your next obsession.